Please make sure you have the blood typing lab worksheet in front of you before you start this lab. This is a blood typing lab. These are blood typing trays. So you can see that they have a place for the A antiserum, the B antiserum, and the RH antiserum, and each one of the trays looks similar. When you do a blood typing lab, you always get antiserums. Antiserums are meant to cause clumping if that particular blood type is present. So the A antiserum is the blue lid right here, and if A blood is present, when you put this in it, the blood will clump to show a positive test. The B antiserum is the yellow one. It will cause clumping if the B blood is present. And then the green one is the RH antiserum. And so if you put this one in and there's clumping, it means that the blood is positive, not negative. I also have here our victim's blood from our crime scene. I have suspect 1, suspect 2, suspect 3, suspect 4. And in this tray, I have our crime scene fabric that was found at our crime scene that had blood on it. We will do that sample last. So as I do each test, I'm gonna feel free to stop the video at any time to write your results down as you go. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the victim. So I'm gonna take the victim's blood. I'm going to put 1 drop in each one of the circles on my tray. Okay, so all 3 of these are victim 1. Now I'm going to take A antiserum and I'm going to put a drop in the A location. I'm going to take B antiserum and I'm going to put a drop in the B location. And then I'm going to take the RH antiserum and I'm going to put a drop in the RH location. Now that I've gotten all 3 there, I'm going to take my toothpicks and I'm going to stir. And I'm going to look for clumping. I'm going to make sure and use a separate toothpick for each one. And you can see here that the color in my B has changed, and there's definitely clumping in my B. And I'm going to stir my RH. And so now you can take observations and see what you think the blood type is. The next one I'm going to do is I'm going to do suspect 1. So I'm going to put a drop in each one for suspect 1. And then I'm going to do the A antiserum, the B antiserum, and the RH antiserum. And then I'm going to stir. And again, you can notice that there's a significant color change. That's the clumping that's happening. Clumping there as well. So you can definitely see the difference. This would be no clumping, and then these would be clumping. So this one clumped in A, clumped in B, and clumped in the RH. All right, so this is suspect 2. All right, and I'm gonna put in A anti-serum and B anti-serum. And RH anti-serum. And I'll stir. Okay, so then you can determine which ones of those had clumping. The next one that I'm going to do is suspect 3. So here's your A anti-serum. There's B. And then there's your RH. Okay, so A. B. And RH, and you can decide whether you think any of those are clumping or not based on the color. They spread out, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of clumping in those. All right, and this is your 4th and final one. For your suspects. So this is suspect 4. There's A, B, and the RH. Okay. Okay. Take a look at this one really quick, because it looks like this one clumped. Sometimes you have to go back and stir a little bit more. Give it a second to try it. Okay. So if you look back here at suspect 3, there was definite clumping in the A and the RH. And it doesn't look like suspect 4 had any clumping. So this is victim, suspect 1, suspect 2, suspect 3, suspect 4, and you should be able to read them correctly and determine what the blood type is. The last one we'll do is the crime scene, and because the crime scene is already on the fabric, all we need to do is add the anti-serum. So here's anti-serum A, here's anti-serum B, and then here's the RH. And then usually you just want to stir for a little bit. Okay, so let's see. Here's your B. And then here is your RH. So sometimes it's a little bit hard to tell, especially on the video for the crime scene, but it looks like there's clumping in the A and there's clumping in the RH. There's small clumping that's starting to occur there. The crime scene is usually the hardest one to do because there's usually the least amount of blood. So oftentimes you have to wait for a couple of minutes to check it, and then you have to really look, but you can see that there's definite clumping in the A and the RH and no clumping in the B for that one. So make your observations, and once you have your observations done from this, then you'll be able to complete the questions and the rest of the information in the lab.